just came back watching the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. This is my spoiler thoughts. He was talking about how horrible this movie is. That it's in the level of the Rise of Skywalker. It's the level of Solo, which I actually really liked. I expected the worst. I go in the theater with my two friends. They don't watch Star Wars at all, but I really enjoyed this movie. I think it's just a trend. I think it's really a trend of just to force hate, similar to, like I said, personally for me, the Falcon or the Captain America: Brave New World. People hated the movie. I watch it. I'm like, it's actually pretty decent. I can see why people disliked it, but for me, I overall liked it. It's similar to this movie. People need to remember this is the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. This is not Star Wars: A New Hope. This is not Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Or for me, the positives of this movie, I think this cinematography is really good. The action sequences, the battles, the fights, hand to hand, the guns, whatever. Really, really nice. When they bring in the X wings and the CGI, I think overall, I think visually the movie is really, really good. Then you have the characters, which I would say maybe their dialogue was a bit off. There wasn't a lot of quote unquote, I guess, speaking. There wasn't a lot of dialogue. You have Jabba the Hutt's son, playing by Edgar Allan White, I believe that's his name. Really known for his roles in Shameless and The Bear. I think he was great, really, really, really great. Playing, had a really, I guess, brothership with Grogu. They had a really good connection. Grogu, similar to, I think, Jon Favreau or someone that was working in the movie, wanted him to have a similar storyline as in Creed. So he didn't want to be in the shadow of his father. They don't want to be like his father. Just really wanted people to cheer for him because of him, not because of where he came from, or his past or his background or whatever like that. So he saw a lot of, I guess, development with him. And with Grogu, you can see how much he's, I guess, evolving or becoming. Hilarious. I mean, hilarious. This movie was just hilarious. I laughed many, many times during this movie. The people need to remember, it's not always going to be a serious final battle, intense drama, crazy end of the world type situation in movies. You got to realize this is a fun movie. This is a good movie to bring in new Star Wars fans or people trying to get into it. It's a really fun movie. So for me, similar to like Solo. Like I said before, I really like Solo, but this movie takes it above that because I really liked it. And then you have Mando. His action sequences were just amazing. The beginning first 8 minutes, just fantastic. One thing is, like I said, with pacing, one I've always heard, or before watching the movie, they said this is just a 3 episode of the TV show just rolled into a movie. And I'm like, okay, let me see about that. I didn't see it like that up until when Mando got hurt, when he got bit by the snake, and then you had Grogu taking care of him. Or actually to the point where to the point where Mando got ambushed at where he was at and got taken. That's where I was like, okay, this is starting to feel like a TV show. So up in that part until Mando got better and then stormed where the Hutts were, that's where I was like, okay. During that whole sequence, even though it was great, I think Grogu was hilarious during that time. You're taking care of Grogu, stealing the fish, and trying to. What Mando said, the old was it the old takes care of the young, and the young takes care of the old, something along those lines. And it's true, and it showed. It was great, but during that scene, for me, it just felt like a TV show during that 10, 15, 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. Around that, like I said, it was really slow paced. There's certain moments where it's really, really slow paced, but I don't think that's a negative. I don't think that's a reason to bash the movie and saying it's a horrible movie. Like I said, it's a Mandalorian Grogu movie. It's not a Luke Skywalker movie. It's not a Anakin movie. It's not whatever you want to call it. it's a fun, lighthearted comedy with beautiful beautiful cinematography. Really a huge fan of this movie. Force hate, the only people that hate on Star Wars movies are the fans themselves. They just hate whatever they hate, or they hate whatever that's out. Could be TV show, could be whatever. It's not as bad. They're just A lot of fans are just blinded by nostalgia, blinded by you know Phantom Menace, and blinded by just the early movies because they grew up with. You have to be open to the new things, and I think this movie is 100%. I would watch it again. That's how much I enjoyed this movie. It's just I'm trying to think of a lot of negatives. Like I said, the only negatives I can think is just pacing and dialogue. That's it. The movie wasn't boring. Sure, like I said, there were sequences that would be felt like a TV show. It will be not a lot of talking. There will be just really slow, but not to the point where people were saying, "Oh, I was falling asleep during watching this movie. This movie was really boring." No, no, I am a huge, huge, huge fan of this. Definitely worth a shot. Really excited for the future. The end, it has Grogu and Mando in their new ship, and ready to see what's going what's gonna happen. I'm trying to think of more things after the movie. Pretty much covered, the basics really. Um, the final sequence was really good. Uh, you have Zed in this movie, which for me was great. Jada was really really good as well. It's just a lot of great characters, a lot of fun characters, a lot of great sequences and stuff like that. So the Force hate, just stop. Next year is going to be Starfighter. Back to back years with Star Wars movie. Ahsoka coming out. I think they changed it. I remember it was being later this year, but if not, I think it might be 2027. Um, a bunch of new projects coming. It's been 7 years since the last Star Wars movie, so and the last one, people were left out of theaters wanting a refund. So this movie definitely worth a shot. Had loads of fun watching this movie, and really excited to see the future of this franchise.